Hello. And welcome back. Right, where were we? We had just... Right, we're on the Black River Drifters. And we are trying to fix the engine. Alright, we just fixed the cooling system. It's steadily pumping the ice mixture through the pipes. The engine isn't radiating heat like before. You can even touch the outer panels with your bare hand. We fixed the cooling system, but it looks like that wasn't enough. Maybe there's some kind of button we need to push. Find the button. You inspect the device with an experienced eye, but you don't see anything that even looks like a control panel, button, lever, or ignition keyhole. Call the navigator. In the name of the worthy, I ask you to start the engine. It's not to me you should direct your prayers, acolyte Etienne, but to the worthy. I am just their servant. Worthy, I pray, start the engine. You clearly have not managed to learn the holy litanies yet, so I will help you, newcomer. Repeat after me. By the will of the worthy, I pray for the flame to obey my will and activate this mechanism. By the will of the worthy, I pray for the flame to obey my will and activate this mechanism. Something inside the engine starts rumbling discontentedly, gaining momentum. Suddenly, a shrill noise fills the room. Acolyte Etienne, you do not have enough faith. Oh, come on. My faith is stronger than ever. I believe in the worthy with my whole heart, my whole soul, with every cell in my body. I believe. Suddenly, a compartment opens on the side of the engine, and with a soft hiss in a cloud of white steam, an empty compartment designed to hold the cylindrical flask appears. I speak of something else. Place a full vessel of faith in the compartment, so that our temple may continue its journey. That's some kind of fuel. Faith. Silence. Yeah, it's something like fuel around here. Let's go look around. Maybe you can find somewhere to siphon some of this faith. Let's go. Don't really have that many more places to go. Alright, we got the key card. You repaired that last time. To this door. Use card A. Access granted. There's an emblem on the back that shows a sword stuck through something that looks like wings across with a plant. Okay, so a guy sleeping. Crypto. Cryo capsule. A woman is lying in this tightly closed capsule, eyes closed and lips rapidly and soundlessly moving as she recites something. Examine the woman. The woman looks absolutely exhausted, which makes it hard to guess her age. She could be 40 or 18. Her outfit is an odd blend of medieval style and futuristic materials. Her hands are folded across her chest and she's holding something. You can't see what it is. Some sort of amulet that looks like it could be a cross or a sword. Examine the capsule. The capsule is full of electronic equipment and tubes leading from the woman to a glass vessel that is slowly filling up with a glowing liquid. Examine the electronics. Among the unintelligible labels and symbols, you see only one you understand. Capsule temperature 24 degrees, manually set. Nothing of interest. Examine the vessel of liquid. This is what we're looking for. They call it faith. Is it coming out of her? Don't think about it. The vessel is almost full. You can take it. What will happen to her? Glance at the woman behind the glass screen. Behind the glass screen, who continues her silent recitation. She'll be okay. Remove the vessel of faith. You slowly pull the glass vessel of liquid out of the machine. The woman in the capsule pauses for a second. A new empty flask appears where the old one just was. The woman returns to her original state. Faith starts gradually filling the new vessel, but it happens very slowly. Knock on the capsule. Knock knock. The woman doesn't react at all. I guess I'll leave then. Flask of Faith. A glass capsule filled with a glowing liquid. Truly, faith takes many forms. Looks like it says Faita. I wish they used the wake up feature a little bit more. So far it's only been like once every mission or something. Only to get like one tool. It would be cool. I know it says that things you bring with you get destroyed, but it would be cool if I could like take things out of here, interact with things outside, etc. The cooled engine is patiently waiting for you. The compartment to hold the flask of faith is still open. The flask fits perfectly in the compartment. You push down a little harder, and it gently settles deeper into the machine. As soon as you take your hand out, a thick round hatch cover slides over the compartment. Try to remember the prayer yourself. Do you remember how it went? Something about flame and mechanism. Oh, and don't forget the worthy. Let me just find that part. By the will of the worthy, I pray for the flame to obey my will and activate this mechanism. By the will of the worthy, I pray for the flame to obey my will and activate this mechanism. A roar starts building inside the engine, then suddenly bursts out. The piston starts moving. A steady hum fills the engine room. May the worthy bless you, Acolyte Etienne. The engine is working correctly again. The work here is done. It is time for you to ascend. Start looking around nervously, bowing your head slightly. Ascension is the right to climb higher to the middle level of the ship. Ah, of course. You may use the elevator to ascend. And the sword, Excalibur, its location of the sacred sword will be made known only to those who have proven themselves worthy of that knowledge. The navigator's voice is always cold and mechanical, but he says his phrase in an even colder voice. Well, let's go to the elevator then. Hey, it stopped burning. Yeah, like I was trying to say, it's a really cool concept diving into the books and solving things. I wish maybe they did a little bit more with it. Especially the puzzles and waking up sequence thing. Let's see if he has anything cool to say. Remember how I mentioned my neighbor, the writer, who lived below me? Yes, and you said the police wanted to question you. Well, it turns out my neighbor, he what? His apartment was sealed off, and I decided to peek inside and find out what happened. You broke into a crime scene? What were you thinking? What? I didn't do this? Well, from what I could tell, he ended it all. My God. Remember you told me that after serving their sentence, writers often... Well, he said he had just finished working off his sentence, and that's what happened afterward. I heard that some just go into books and never come back. But others, like my neighbor, still do it, the old-fashioned way. I need to finish all these jobs. I don't want to end up like that. Ask Roderick how he is. How are you doing? I'm fine. Do you really think this is a good time to chat? By the way, I've been meaning to ask, what do you do when you're not stealing items from books? Well, to be honest, I'm finding it hard to live without books. But they confiscated every book I owned, so mostly I just sit around now. Just sit around? Yeah, sit and wait. You don't have anyone to pass the time with? Friends, or maybe a lover? All my friends are writers, and I'm forbidden from seeing them by law. As for a lover, it's complicated. I see. You wish to ascend to the middle level, brother? Yes, I do. I was thinking, could I have gone into any of the other rooms? Maybe later. Welcome to Earth, brother. Earth? You look around. We call the lower decks Hell, the middle deck Earth, and the upper decks Heaven? Correct, brother. I see you've already studied our scriptures. If the will of knowledge guides you, visit the library on this floor. Okay, and is Excalibur there? On the top floor. Every acolyte who ascends from Hell must first serve 5 human years on Earth before they will be permitted to touch the sword. What? Only after 5 years have passed can an acolyte grasp the highest sacred truth. Then the worthy will permit them to ascend to heaven to touch the sword. Begin your service. Your 5-year countdown has begun. What am I supposed to do? How should I serve? Study truths, inspect the machinery, and help your brothers. Only routine will guide you to gradual understanding of the truth. You should look around and figure out a better plan than mopping floors for 5 years. Read. Take the fire extinguisher. Library, dirty floor. I really want to see Excalibur. You have not yet earned that right, Acolyte. Has anyone ever earned it? Acolyte Rymar proved his faith in the worthy and rose to heaven, but unfortunately he is no longer with us. Great. Cabin's round table room. Someone drop this. Access card B. Oh, that doesn't look good. Does one of them happen to be... No, these swords belong to the ship's crew. Excalibur isn't here. It's supposed to be sticking out of a stone, remember? Oh, right. The device connected to the prayer chamber is on fire. You won't be able to get the Vessel of Faith. Don't stick your hands in there. We need to find a fire extinguisher first. Just use it immediately. Whoosh. The man inside shows no signs of life, just like the equipment surrounding the capsule. The flask of faith was filled up before the fire, and it's almost unscathed. You take it from the compartment. It really is a miracle that it's intact. You try not to look into the capsule. This chamber is empty. The youngest crew member you've seen so far is writhing in pain inside the chamber. The panel shows his vitals is blinking red, as is the panel showing the temperature inside the capsule. Looks like the chamber overheated. You cool it down so that guy doesn't die. Examine the sensors. On the side panel, you notice that the thermometer is set automatically. It says controlled by the navigator. Guess the navigator has problems understanding what room temperature is. Call the navigator. Hey, could you lower this guy's temperature a little? He's about to burn alive. My data shows that the capsule is currently at optimal temperature. I see. Flask is stuck. If a crew member is in danger, extracting faith or interacting with the capsule in any way is forbidden. So, that's what I was trying to say. Said it yourself. He's in danger, so lower the temperature in the capsule. My data shows that the capsule is currently at the optimal temperature. Okay. An elderly woman. She's dead. The flask that usually holds faith is empty. There's an old man inside the capsule. His whole body is shaking, and his hands are grasping the chest of his suit as though he's trying to rip it apart. There's a phrase flashing on the panel. Heart failure, stabilizer injection required. This flask of faith is filled to the brim. The familiar compartment holds a flask full of faith. You try to take it, but the flask is stuck tight. What kind of monster are you? The guy inside is clearly dying, and you're only interested in the flask? Alright, I just want to check it. Let's go find his medicine. Yep. The dead man lies motionless in the capsule. The flask of faith next to the capsule is completely empty. Looks like the crew started to lose faith in their mission. After so many years of fruitless wandering, I'm not surprised. Alright, let's move on. Wait a second. Look what he's holding. You open the capsule, and as steam escapes, you can see that the dead man's hands are grasping a tape reel. Take it. We should listen and see what's on there. I agree. Middle-aged man. The flask that usually holds faith is empty. Okay. Need heart medicine and a way to cool this guy down. Controller, another slot for faith. Thought they only needed it on the lower level. Faith is what moves our ship forward. Without it, the search for the worthy would be impossible. It is needed on each deck of the ship, as well as in each stage of our lives. Alright, I get it. But these are closed then. Yeah. Is that window? Restroom. Another access card. Okay. Prayer. A prayer is carved into the wall in Gothic script. May strength fill the part of my body that you require most of all, O worthy. Okay, that should be easy to remember. I'll write it down. Call it the Spirit Prayer. Put the note in your pocket. Flask fits perfectly in the compartment. You must say a prayer. Speak your request to the worthy. Prayer? I just want to activate this device. Examine the strange cluster of electronics sticking out of the floor. Your desire, Acolyte, has no higher meaning. All that we mortals can do is send our requests and prayers to the worthy. If they hear them and answer, we can receive what we desire. Okay, worthy, I pray to you, turn this on. You poke a finger at the device in front of you. Icy steam sprays you from an opening in the floor. Ow! Enclose your request in the correct prayer. Only then will the worthy hear it. Do you know anything about this? There's a bunch of different prayers here. I saw some on the walls. So we should go find the right one and open this device. Okay. Let's try the Spirit Prayer. The worthy has heard your prayer. I will give you their answer soon. So the worthy only talks to you. Why can't I hear the answer straight from them? You ask the wrong questions, Acolyte. You must ask why you are not yet worthy of direct conversation with the worthy. Worthy of the worthy. Does the author know what the tautology is? I don't. In any case, I specifically was created in the supposed image of the worthy, and therefore I receive signals from them. You were created? I thought you were human. The worthy has declared their will. You may activate the device. Indicators and messages start to light up. Thank you, O worthy. Rub your hands together. Warning! Insufficient energy. Limited functionality available. Study the figures. These are the energy usage statistics. It looks like the navigator requires almost 70% of the total energy. Him needing so much is forcing them to fly slower than they had originally planned. I guess it's just that important. What compartment shall I activate for you, Acolyte? Infirmary, I guess. Let's get the medicine. Infirmary compartment is not receiving the required amount of energy. No access. Need to reduce the ship's energy consumption. Let's go figure out how we can do that. Kitchen. The kitchen compartment is receiving the required amount of energy. Access granted. Great. Do we have to turn off the navigator at certain parts? The bottle. Food. You see a huge metal door, frozen shut at floor level. That lock. That looks like a freezer. Try to open the door. You pull on the cold handle with all your strength. No result. Yeah, that's not going to work. Maybe there's a knife somewhere in the kitchen. A knife? You're joking? You'd need a sledgehammer and a chisel to break this ice. Or an ice pick. Sure, there must be an ice pick around here, right? For all that space ice climbing they do? Doesn't have to be an actual ice pick, but there must be some kind of a similar tool here. I don't see anything in the text. Maybe you should ask your neighbor. I think my neighbors all hate me now, but I'll try. Let's wake up and talk to them. Yo, old man. Knock on the door. Slow tramping footsteps. Who's there? It's Etienne. Who? Etienne, your neighbor. I see. I'm looking for a pickaxe. Do you happen to have one? A pickaxe? What the hell is going on in your apartment? Renovations. More renovations? And where's my sledgehammer anyway? And my shovel. They're fine. I'm knocking down a wall and your sledgehammer got stuck in it. I borrowed your shovel to dig it out, but the shovel got stuck too. I think a pickaxe is just what I need to fix this. What an idiot. Let me go look. Here, just remember to bring it back. Thank you. Why can't I bring them back? Do they get destroyed? Like everything else? If I take something with me into the book world, do they then get destroyed when I take them out? I assume that was just things that are from this world. Use the pickaxe. Raise the pickaxe over your head. Okay, here goes. The ice is broken into tiny pieces. I didn't see what it said. You break the ice, but all you find inside is frozen food. Ice. That might come in handy. What for? Cool something down later. You'll find out. Fine. Giant block of ice takes up the whole corner and glares unkindly at you. Use the pickaxe. We'll do it. Well, do it. Raise the pickaxe over your shoulder. You swing gently and the sharp points of the pickaxe digs into the ice, leaving the tiniest notch. Couple. Raise it over my head. Only as much strength as needed. That's your motto. With a measured swing, you raise the pick over your head and drop it onto the block. A thin crack appears along the edge, and a large chunk of ice falls to the floor with a crash. Not bad. You pick up the chipped off chunks of ice from the floor. Destroy the entire thing. Okay. Ice chips. Slowly melting pieces of ice. Chipped off with a pickaxe. Okay, can you set to cool the guy down? Can I unlock the armory? The armory compartment is receiving the required amount of energy. Access granted. Great! Damn, that's a big cannon. On the side of the massive cannon, you see a control panel. Examine it. The panel is inside a decorative metal frame with a floral motif. How does it turn on? Maybe it runs on faith too. Look under the panel and see a familiar empty compartment, designed to fit a flask of faith. Damn it, fine. Touch it. Your finger slowly reaches towards the velvety-looking black surface of the control panel screen. Are you sure that's a good idea? The tip of your finger slides across the screen. For the first second, it seems like nothing is happening. But in the next second, a substantial static shock runs through your finger. Ow! As soon as you pull your finger away, a message appears on the screen. Insufficient faith. Of course. I turned down the music a bit. Let's see. Right, I don't think it saved my settings earlier. Or, like, I have to... As I opened the options, settings... refresh, it seemed like. Another prayer. Sorry, my phone alarm went off. And the voices of their disciples will resound along the Black River, from shore to shore, from source to mouth. Is the Black River supposed to be space? It's kind of cool. Let's write that down. I'll call it the voice prayer. Put the note in your pocket. Lasers. The way forward is blocked by buzzing beams of energy. Touch the beams. Acolyte Etienne, this barrier will disintegrate you entirely in 1,000th of a second. I advise you not to touch it. You jerk your hand away and take a step back too, just in case. Are there beams in the middle of the room that can disintegrate me in less than a second? For safety purposes, access to this part of the deck is restricted while the cannon is active. I get that, but why? For safety purposes. Alright, alright. Oh, but I can go through the ventilation shaft. Part of a note. It underlines the fact that there was a sharp increase of suicides on Earth after our crew took Excalibur off the planet. Push the unlock button. Oh, I'm back here. Okay. Well, I used to have the other cards. Access granted. Rags, rope. Completely empty. I don't think anyone's lived here for a while. Nothing else to pick up here? And... the door is labeled Cell D. There's a slot for an access card next to it, so we don't have that. Okay. Do we have anything that needs repairing? Oh, we have a reel. And a couple of prayers, okay. We need to turn off the power somehow. Or use less. And turn off the navigator, that'd be cool. Nothing new to say. Let's go to the library then. I wonder what this sludge is. Great. There's damage here too. I guess the engine must have really flared up. Just hurry. If the fire spreads to the library, all the scriptures could be ruined. Fire extinguisher. Hatch won't open. If my hand, O worthy, prevents me from serving you, I will cut it off like a withered root. Write that down. I'll call it the sacrifice prayer. Are you sure you won't get them mixed up with such strange names? The capsule is stuck, but you see a twisted chunk of metal keeping it from opening. Only had some kind of tool. To hear the words of the past, recite the voice prayer. To lower the righteous sword, recite the sacrifice prayer. To alter the electric river's current, recite the spirit prayer. Okay. We can't access that, right? No. Let's use the ice to cool the chamber down. You pour ice on the capsule. The ice sizzles and quickly starts melting. Temperature slowly starts to fall, and as soon as it reaches a normal range, you open the capsule. The man's eyes are still closed, but at least you saved him from suffocating in that heat. Did we leave him like this? Yeah, let him get a little fresh air. Take the flask. You remove the flask of glowing liquid and put it in your pocket, making sure the lid is on tight first. Thanks. You know that the still unconscious man. Man in the chamber is breathing evenly. He's clearly doing better. Right, we don't have a syringe for him yet. He was okay. I mean, he was dead. Okay. We have another capsule. Can we put one more on this? Huh. How can we make it use less energy? Plug out the toilets. No. Gotta save energy somehow. Oh, can we unplug the... guys that are dead? This guy is alive. Can't unplug this. Get that? Go downstairs again. Now I want to go up. Boo. Okay, it's just saying I have to be here for 5 years. I want to go down. Now we can craft something, probably. Ah, we can craft the multi-tool. Multi-tool. And then we can open the compartment up there. I'm not sure if there's anything we can turn off down here. We don't need to run that right now, so... Oh, we can try this too. With a hiss, a flask of faith settles deep into the cannon. The panel starts flashing almost immediately. Blue and green symbols form patterns and then fly apart, forming several rectangular buttons. Okay, what now? Try touching the words. That seems to be how they do it in the books. Touch the message and say a prayer. 3 greenish blue rectangles are lit up on the weapon control panel. Status check. If you choose the second option, the screen goes black for a moment, then a chart appears on it. This cannon uses more than 20% of all the ship's energy. That's why we're going to turn it off. What's that number mean? Weapon's firepower. It's to believe this weapon can destroy planets. A shiver runs through your body. We should turn it off quickly. We need energy. Set target. If you choose the first option, you see the buttons transform into a complex grid with several moving dots on it. Just don't shoot anyone. Have everything under control. Touch on the dots on the screen. Beep. Bang! Acolyte Etienne, have the unfaithful been eliminated? They have, for the glory of the worthy. You peer out the window trying to see what you hit. For the glory of the worthy. Hold on, so those dots, are they ships? Planets? Did I destroy an entire planet? No, they're asteroids. Apparently the system can't tell different bodies apart from each other. It considers anything moving in space to be a threat. That's good. Phew. Push a button. You can only find one button and quickly push it. Dots start to move across the screen, forming a list. It looks like this is a weapon for punishing the unworthy. The list of previous targets is pretty extensive. Yeah, the descriptions aren't great though. Race of infidels with scales. Race of infidels with tentacles. Return to the panel. Deactivate. If you choose the third option, you see a huge message that covers the whole screen. Prayer required. Okay, go ahead. Which one should I say? It's hard to tell. I'll look for something about the weapon or energy. Spirit prayer, right? The words sing a prayer are flashing insistently across the screen. I have to sing? Prayers must be sung. However, we are currently in our 453rd day mourning period for Acolyte Rymar. The mourning period includes a ban on singing. I see. Try the voice prayer. The voices of their disciples will resound along the Black River, from bank to bank, from source to mouth. Incorrect. A charge of blue energy rushes towards you. Try to dodge, but it still hits your body. You seize up in pain. Son of a... This is too strong a charge for simple punishment. Spirit prayer. Incorrect. Same again. Sacrifice prayer. If my hand or worthy prevents me from serving you, I will cut it off like a withered root. Hear a hiss and the control panel goes dark. The cannon has been deactivated. Gee, it wasn't that hard. An access card. Great, where's the crate? Container on the shelf attracts your attention. Just me, or does it seem like there's something valuable in there? Should I check the text? It'll only take me 10 minutes. I'll do it myself. Okay, I need a lockpick or something. Let me see. Examine the multi-tool, looking for something that will help you. You accidentally hit something that causes a red laser beam to shoot out from it. Whoa! Blinking, you see that the lock on the container has melted open. How did you do that? What in the heck did I push? Try examining the multi-tool from all sides. Can't find anything that looks like a laser. Fine. I'd be kind of afraid to have a laser shooting tool in my pocket that I didn't know how to operate. Oh hey, I got through to the other side. Take audio reel. It's jammed. Can't open it. The looks like someone already took the audio reel. Audio playback device. To activate the playback device, insert Faith into the compartment on the panel, brother. Why is it always Faith? You really should understand by now that all the equipment here runs on it. Well, I don't have any faith at the moment. Go down here and use the last access card. Use card B. Access granted. Locker. An elegant chest stands in the middle of the room. It looks as though the whole cell has been built around it. A red light starts glowing on the device. Another one, exactly identical, lights up on the chest. You bring the multi-tool close to the chest, and it opens on its own. How convenient. What's inside? Medkit, ring, coins. Medkit have... Oh, it's for me, okay. Right, because I turned off the... I turned off the cannons, now I should have power to open the medbay door, infirmary. But before we do that, let's go to the library. This is library. I mean, fine, since we're here. Available energy detected. I think we can unlock all the rooms now. Unlock the infirmary. Infirmary compartment is receiving the required amount of energy. Access granted. Great. Are those like death boxes? Container. Near the wall is a locked container labeled medicine. Try and open it. You try to pull the lid open, but the lock is holding it tightly shut. You find a long probe on the multi-tool that you might be able to use as a lockpick. As soon as you insert it into the lock, something clicks and the lock opens on its own. It picked the lock itself? You look at the device proudly. A medkit and empty bottles. I have a lot of healing items. I feel like I'm gonna meet some heavy combat later. A medical chair stained with something red. Not blood. You're standing in front of a huge shelving unit. The control panel next to it is illuminated. The first thing you notice is 3 blue numbers in the middle of the screen. Touch the first number. Beep. The inside is made up of neat square compartments, with different types of bottles in each one. You pick up the closest one and read the old-fashioned paper tag. Dandelion leaf. Folk medicine in the space age. It's empty. You put the flask back on the shelf. How about we check the other compartments? Second number. Beep. In the middle of the shelf you see a gilded box with an ornate inscription. Relics of the great martyr Reimar. A melted audio reel is lying next to it. Take the reel. Take the melted reel. In its current state, you won't be able to listen to it. I'm in the reel. Something written here, but it's hard to read. Zach, Ed, Uth. Sacred truth? Isn't that what the navigator was talking about, to get to the top floor? We need to restore this and listen to it as soon as we can. Open the box. No way. I don't think it's a good idea to touch sacred relics on a ship where there's a crazy head that shoots lasers. You reluctantly pull your hand away. Touch the third number. Beep. Did they write the beep different? I think so. Dozens of mean-looking metal syringes stare up at you from under their glass caps. They're each filled with a greenish liquid. The label on the inner wall reads stabilizer. I don't know how to inject people. You're lucky, I'm a doctor. But actually, I guess you're not that lucky, since I don't have hands here. Oh, you remembered something new about yourself? Yeah? Anyway, I'd feel more confident if it was some kind of spray or gel. Looks like you'll have to learn a new skill today. Fantastic. You carefully lift off one of the caps and take a syringe. It cools your skin and fits comfortably in your hand. Let's go back to the old man in the capsule. Let's go. Right. We can repair the reel downstairs. Use the syringe. You have the syringe and you're all ready to save the old man. Inject him, quickly! I've never done this before. I don't think the needle can pierce the capsule's glass. There's a catheter. There, to the left, under the panel. Just stick the needle in there and push out the medicine. A shiver of relief runs through your body as the medicine disappears into the capsule. The old man's condition starts improving before your very eyes. Wait. Cross your arms over your chest and wait. The old man's convulsions gradually stop. His breathing evens out, and his fingers stop tearing at his clothes. Hey, we saved his life. Yep. Now can I take the flask and move on? Alright, alright. We did well. Yeah, we did. Yes, I want to go down. Probably quicker to use the little hatch. Put the damage reel inside. Object accepted. Processing. Processing. The compartment opens and you see the completely restored audio reel within. Great. Now I can listen to it on the player in the library. What else is there? Let's see. Synthesize. Take a couple bottles. Wrong cell. I always go to the wrong one. Station shaft. Is there anything else in here? What's in there again? I've forgotten. Right. Can we ever open this compartment? Do that first. You find something on the multi-tool that kind of looks like a screwdriver, and use it as a lever to move the piece of metal. Oh, just ink. Oh. Wasn't that important then? Armory, let's run to the ventilation shaft. And Let's listen to some audio things. To activate the playback device, insert faith. Yes. Insert faith flask. You put the flask in the compartment, and it gently slides into the machine. Say a prayer. Speak a request to the worthy brother. Voice prayer. A prayer? Close your request in the correct prayer, only then will the worthy hear it. So how did the people on this ship ever manage to do anything with all these issues? Voice prayer, surely. Worthy has heard your prayer, brother. You may activate the device. Thank you, O Worthy. It looks like we can use this machine to listen to audio reels recorded by members of the crew. There might be useful information on them. What wonderful technology. It's just an ordinary audio player. Wasn't there anything like it in your book? No, although considering where we are now, nothing should surprise me. You're looking at the audio playback device. The control panel is to the left, and the reel slot is to the right. Reel number 1. Processing. You hear an old woman's voice coming from the crackling speaker. I remember reading an article criticizing our mission, even before we set off. I want to record the author's thoughts before I forget. He wrote about how the sword, which he blasphemously called a hunk of metal stuck in a stone, led to the idea of dividing us into the worthy and unworthy. Gradually, people who understood that their chances of being found unworthy were extremely high found ways to avoid the test, coming up with crazier and crazier excuses to keep from being stigmatized as unworthy. This hunk of metal was allegedly got stuck because of shifting stone slabs, caused a general acceleration in the development of interplanetary travel, which eventually led to our departure. However, sometimes even I begin to wonder. Recording cuts out. Reel number 2. Processing. Warning. Material you're about to listen to was recorded on Earth, and we consider it to be against our faith and our mission. You hear a middle-aged man's voice coming from the crackling speaker. In my attempts to analyze the influence of faith in our technology, in light of recent events, I came upon an interesting detail. After all, behind all technologies stands the Lent machine, which has a proven 2% error rate. That means there's a 2% chance that the base algorithm that every machine, every computer is built on, is capable of making a mistake or failing. Quite high, 2%. The uncertainty and unpredictability that this fact imposes on seemingly faithful and reliable machines creates space for superstition. What if I pray and the mistake doesn't happen? What if I perform a ritual, cross my fingers, and the mistake doesn't happen? The recording ends. Insert the restored reel. Processing. Hear an old man's weak voice coming from the crackling speaker. Oh, worthy, I pray to you. It is not your strength I desire. All right. You write the words on the piece of paper held against your knee. But the responsibility that falls on one who is bold enough to raise a blade above themselves. Voice cuts out, and you hear the sound of the elevator opening, and the navigator's voice from far off. Is this the sacred truth the navigator was talking about? If it is, then it won't have to work here for 5 years. Alright, let's go to the elevator. I think we'll be allowed up to the sword now, too. That's great. So, before we ascend up to the next level, I think maybe that's where we'll stop today. Just long enough. I quite like this world. The concepts are very cool. Okay. Yeah, that's where we'll say goodbye today. And let's go to heaven next time. Have a good day, have a good night, have a good morning. Bye bye, see you next time.